In this graphic you can see the components within the analyzer room of the container, components within the driver room of the container, and the components outside of the container. Inside the analyzer room there is the analyzer cabinet, the mass spectrometer, and the operator PC. In the driver room there is the truck driver PC and the printer. Outside the container there is the PLC and a possible second operator PC. The side PLC receives the current status of the PremierGuard, such as up to 20 warning or error codes from the system. Also the last measured values with units and the information of the last sample point is received by the PLC. The Siemens ET200 handles the digital in and outputs and analog inputs. Fill levels of calibration gases, alarms from the CO2 and O2 monitors, and ambient air temperatures are examples for such signals. The callout box handles callouts on predefined events. 4 different callout levels can be used, where certain alarms can be assigned to one of the 4 callout levels. The SAM1001 is the sample switching module for the product gas sample points. This is a double block and bleed module where purge gas flow rates and bleed flow rates are monitored. The SAM3500 is the sample switching module for feed gas and process gas sample points. The Siemens Ultramed is an infrared analyzer to measure the impurities of carbon monoxide in the product gas. The SRS BGA244 is a speed of sound analyzer to measure the purity of the product carbon dioxide. The Emetec is a quartz crystal analyzer to measure the moisture content in the product gas. The supervised PC realizes all hardware connections to every required device within the analyzer cabinet and the mass spectrometer located next to the cabinet. Also the Modbus connection to the site PLC is made on this PC. The following programs are installed on the supervised PC: the V&F supervised software, Microsoft SQL database, and V&F PowerShell. The UPS inside the analyzer cabinet supplies the following components: the supervised PC, the Siemens ET200, the callout box, the Ethernet switch, and the mass spectrometer. The V&F supervised software is the master software within the PremierGuard system. In this software, the communication with all single devices is configured. The configuration of the valves to be switched for each sample point is also done within the V&F supervised software. Also the user management and the molecule library are part of the supervised software. These settings can only be accessed by a system administrator. In the SQL database, all settings made by the V&F supervised, the V&F operator, and the V&F truck driver programs are stored. Also all measured data such as analysis results, calibration results, and sensitivities are stored in the database. The SQL database also contains stored procedures to provide all required data for the historian. The data transferred to the ECOA database is configured in the SQL database. PowerShell software is used to configure the UPS. Here, a delay before shutting down the equipment can be defined in order to bypass short outages and to trigger a secure shutdown of the supervised PC and the mass spectrometer. The CO2 sense is an IMR mass spectrometer to measure all kinds of impurities. The V&F server software controls the mass spectrometer and contains all settings of it. The operator PC is a standard desktop PC for the plant staff where the V&F operator software is running. The V&F operator software contains the PremierGuard System Overview. Analysis of each sample point can be started by this software. Calibrations of every analyzer can also be started. Settings for the grades and specifications can be adjusted within this software. The history part allows to review analysis results, calibration results, used calibration gas cylinders, and a PDF version of certificates of analysis. A so-called standard sequence and schedules can be defined within this software. The truck driver PC is a standard desktop PC mainly for the drivers, where the V&F truck driver software is running. The V&F truck driver software allows drivers and plant staff to run analysis on pre-configured sample points and sends the COAs to the printer after finishing the analysis. The printer is used to print out certificates of analysis after finishing the analysis, which have been started by the V&F truck driver software. There can be a various number of operator PCs used within the same network in order to work with the PremierGuard system. Also, this operator PC is a standard desktop PC for the plant staff, where the V&F operator software is running. As mentioned before, the V&F operator software contains the PremierGuard System Overview. Analysis of each sample point can be started by this software. Calibrations of every analyzer can also be started. Settings for grades and specifications can be adjusted within this software. The history part allows to review analysis results, calibration results, used calibration gas cylinders, and a PDF version of the certificates of analysis. A so-called standard sequence and schedules can be defined within the software.